Hey everyone, Matt Anderson here. Just wanted to touch on a couple things. I've been asked a lot of questions regarding, hey Matt, how can I start buying a business or looking to buy a business? How can I get into this if I need to work full time to bring in income still to support a side hustle, right? So there's just a couple things here that I'd like to go over that I've implemented myself, and then we can kind of dive into what I've done to get to where I am now, right? So first here is wake up earlier, right? So a lot of people are, like, I gotta get my sleep, I gotta sleep in. It's like, go to bed earlier. Or what kind of sleep do you get? Or what does your going to bed routine actually look like, right? So, I used to get up about 6:30 or so for work, maybe a little bit earlier. But now I'm starting to do 5:30. And sometimes it's earlier than that. And so with that being said, wake up earlier just gives you more time to kind of jumpstart. For me, it's a no-brainer. I got 4 kids and 1 on the way. And so with that being said, it's more quiet time for me, right? Second is during your commute, okay? What are you doing or what are you learning in this process of your side hustle to become more of an expert? What can you implement in your commute, right? So anything hands-free, like audiobooks, trainings. Turn off the radio and get in the habit of turning an audiobook on or some type of training so it becomes your car university, right? Because how much time, depending on which part of the country you're in or where you're at in the world, how much time do you actually spend sitting in a car, right? That could be translated into hours of learning and absorbing information that you can then implement. That's good think time, because after taking in this information, it's great. And a lot of times it's kind of like taking it in with a fire hose, but able to process that, apply it to yourself and your situation, that's where you find those golden nuggets. And that's where you kind of move that needle every day, right? Lunch breaks, weekends, evenings, there's a lot of downtime. What do? I love watching college football. I'm not too much on the professional scene, but college sports, I love watching college sports. But what do I love more? It kind of goes back to the sleep. What do I love more? And how can I shift things around? It's not, I can't make that happen. It's the attitude of, how can I make this happen? So during my lunch break, again, I got on, and I'm talking and I'm communicating with business owners, possible sellers, and also buyers that are interested in these different companies, right? Same thing on weekends, sacrificing maybe watching a game or doing something along those lines, prioritizing my time spent and where that focus is, right? Evenings, staying up later. Sometimes it was later nights, and it just depended on what was going on, after putting the kids to bed or finishing up other things. It just depends. I mean, this needs to be applicable to your day job. There's a lot of people that leave their work at work when they're done, 9 to 5 or whatever that time frame looks like. But there's also people that need to bring that home if they're in a management position or they have more responsibilities. It's like, how do you juggle that, right? And so it's definitely worth your time to put it on paper, okay? We have a lot of wait time. How much wait time do you actually have during the day? How much time do you have of this, where you're twiddling your thumbs, right? Always have something on hand. If that's going back to the trainings, the audiobooks, those types of things to kind of fill in that time and be as efficient with your time as possible. But also, if it's sending an email, if it's sending a text message, if it's follow up, okay? And then there's being able to say no, right? Saying no to listening to the radio, saying no to, sleeping in more just because you might be a little more lethargic or you want that sleep. But really, do you need that extra hour of sleep? You might. Everyone knows, everyone's bodies tick differently. But can you go to bed earlier to wake up earlier? Saying no to other projects, people asking you to be involved. There's different types of people. There's a book out there, it's by Adam Grant, it's called Give and Take, and it talks about the givers and the takers, and and there's some people that are kind of in the middle, right? And it talks about these different types of givers and the different types of takers, and there's a lot of givers that are successful, but there's a lot that aren't, and there's a lot of takers that are successful, and there's a lot that aren't. And so kind of understanding what type of person you are, you want to give back, you want to help out, but at the same time, when are we giving or feel like that we're giving where it's not productive? Okay, so being able to say no to projects or tasks that are given to you, and being mindful of when those are coming at you, because a lot of things like that could be what are called like time vampires, right? They're going to suck the time from you, and then it's going to make it harder for you to actually get this flywheel spinning with this side hustle, right? And in this case, what we're talking about is being able to acquire or buy a business, right? There's other time management skills. We talked about in a previous segment. I mean, there's CRMs out there that have apps. So I mentioned two of them. There's HubSpot and there's Monday.com. Great apps, great applications also. So you can streamline them, get on your phone quick and say, hey, I have a to-do list. And when you have, wait time, you can go to those to-do lists and maybe finish a task or two while you're waiting for an appointment or waiting for a phone call or something at work in between, right? Same thing with Monday.com. And you can know when these people are seeing your emails. You can make your time efficient. And that's why it makes sense to put this on paper. And you can also divvy it up by days, right? So Monday, I have certain tasks that I complete and I focus on those tasks. Tuesday, I have certain tasks that I complete and I focus on those. Wednesday and Thursday, I field my phone calls and I speak with my sellers, and I also have those calls with possible buyers, right? And then Friday, I have other tasks, whether it's following up on what hasn't been done and things like that, and then I start over again on Monday, right? But whatever you're doing, make sure that you're focused solely on that. There's a illustration that I really like, and it shows a guy who's spinning plates, right? So he has like one on his knee and two in his hands, and he has like one on his nose, and he's spinning these plates. And then he takes this and he'll put it on his other knee, and then he'll have to spin them. And as they start to slow down, he'll have to go and spin it again, right? And so you're constantly spinning these plates. So that's kind of how you would be in this circumstance. You have your full-time job. This is your bread and butter. It's bringing in the income. It's paying a mortgage. You're paying your bills. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I need to get out of the rat race. I need to get out of my JOB, just over broke, right? This cycle. And I need to create something else, because we're looking at a major change here in the United States. I mean, it's already happening, but with the influx of inflation and everything that's going on, we need to make changes, and we need to have investments in solid assets, right? And so businesses are key in that aspect. And so being able to have a business, being able to have that asset work for you, but not have to be in it, right? And that's the goal here. And so with that being said, it's how do we break out of these cycles of dysfunction that we are either born into, thrown into, or conditionally we're put into with past generations, over time. How do we break that for future generations, right? Because the goal is that my children are living a better life than I've lived now, and that I can help create that. And then they can do that for grandchildren, right? And that we can create a legacy. And that's all that we want, is we want to be happy, create a legacy for our families. And so these different time management tools definitely can help out. So I mentioned, there's HubSpot, there's Monday.com, and you have others out there. There's Lemlist for sending out emails. There's places for email lists to be able to start talks with business owners, because really we want to get to the meat of the situation and get things going. But what is key and what is crucial is time management and being able to get that side hustle going, so we can then propel ourselves into it, prove the concept, get a sale or buy a business, make it work, And then, and you've also been proving that and proved it to yourself that you can do that, because another thing is we have our personal limitations. But after we've been able to do that, go to the next, then go to the next. And then maybe you get to the point where you're replacing your income, and then you have a lot more time because your 9 to 5 is gone, okay? And that's the goal, is that you wake up in the morning, that you're excited doing what you want to do, and you're excited to hit your feet on the floor and go, okay? And so my challenge for you today is to pull out a piece of paper, make a list of what your schedule is, but be honest with yourself and say, where are my wait times during the day? How much time do I spend in the car commuting? I bet it's easy for almost, I mean, it's a little different today in the COVID world, but I bet easily anyone watching this video can finish a book a month, an audio book a month, just by listening to it whenever you're in your car. Listen to it at 1.5 speed, 2 maybe, depending on the individual. I currently go through 1 audiobook a week because of the time that I spend in my car driving around, okay? And honestly, it's not that much time because I work from home, okay? I don't have an office that I commute to or anything like that. I might travel and jump on an airplane and fly once in a while and things like that, and I can listen to my audiobooks then. But really, that's on a small scale. I mean, I can finish 1 a week. And the education and what you can take in during that is monumental, and it's huge for the individual that takes that task upon themselves to learn, to listen to trainings and to go the extra mile versus, I love music, I love listening to other things, but where does that get me? You know, so it's just a matter of what do you love more? And if you find, and be honest with yourself that you don't love that more, but you want to, gain a desire to love that more. Figure out what it is that makes you tick, put it on paper, figure this out and go through these steps. If you have any questions or you're looking just to brainstorm or get any other ideas of possible other applications that you can use for time management, subscribe below, send me a message, reach out to me on LinkedIn or whatever social media that may be, and let's connect. You know, my goal, as Zig Ziglar said, is if I can help you accomplish your goals, then that helps me accomplish mine along the way. And that's simply what we're here to do. The goal here is to acquire businesses, right? And that's what my team and I do, okay? And we help other individuals find the business owners, the sellers that want to have these conversations that aren't on the market to sell. And quite frankly, those are the best ones, okay? And if you have any more questions about that, feel free to reach out. But again, time management is key to getting these things started. And so if the hardest part is just to start. So get going, start on it. Let me know how things go, check up, comment below, and reach out to me here. I try to respond to my emails personally, but I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck, everyone. We'll talk to you here soon.
Happy deal hunting.